welcome back to Look Past Limits. Today is day 8 of van build. I'm back. As you can see, I'm feeling better. And what are we doing today?
So if you've not been watching this series already, we are trying to convert this work van into a camper van in 30 days or less. We're on day 8, as Vendy says, and if you have been watching, you'll know that for the last couple of days Vendy's been feeling ill, so I've been on my own and I've not been getting much progress done without my helper here. But today we're finally going to get on to framing the kitchen. So hopefully it's a job that will actually seem like we're getting some progress, because there'll be a big change by the end of the day, hopefully. So if you are new here, then you can click on one of the links that are on the screen now somewhere probably, and watch the playlist up until now, and you'll see how we went from empty van to what you can see behind us now in the last week. And yeah, for today, let's get cracking on some kitchen design. So if you watched us build the overhead lockers that are up here, we're going to be building the kitchen in a similar sort of way. We're using this framing wood to frame it out, and then we've got IKEA door fronts and drawer fronts to put on it. We've not actually got a full plan yet of how the kitchen's to look, so we've started drawing out some basic plans, and we're going to come up with the rest of it just now with you guys and see what we can come up with. So we've got some of the items here that are going to go in the kitchen, and I've made a note here of some of the things that we don't have at the moment so that we've got sizes, and we'll now try and plan out where things are going to go and how this frame's going to look. So talk us through the plan, honey. How's it going to look?
So the plan is that we're gonna have an L-shaped kitchen. When you come into the van here, there is gonna be an edge like this and some shelves underneath it, and then we're gonna have 2 doors on this side, and then on here there's gonna be a fridge in the bottom and a drawer on the top. On the worktop we're gonna have a sink here, and the stove's just gonna be here as you enter, and then underneath obviously the fridge, and then we've got a fresh water tank. There is gonna be a pump coming up to the sink and a tap. Here we're just gonna have a basic drain system from the sink going down into the wastewater tank, and somewhere in between here, between those 2 tanks, there's gonna be a gas locker as well with the propane 5 kilo bottle, and that's gonna be connected to our stove, which is gonna be about here.
So we already measured out the overall dimensions of the kitchen when we were framing this earlier, and we put this on here so that we could screw right through the cladding and get a good point on the metal to go right through into here as well. So we know that this is going to be the edge of the kitchen, so we'll probably start by working out from here and just measure each thing as we go along and try and fit it in. We don't have the fridge here, and it's important that we manage to fit that in properly, so we'll probably start by that and work our way around. And on the edge of here we'll also have a piece of ply on the end here that will have some sockets on it. There'll be sockets similar to these ones over here, and the heating controls and whatnot, and that'll all just link down to the battery, which is going to go here.
Smiling at me as so many times before. I'll never wanna be away, leave you again. You are all I want and more. It's true. If only I could do one thing.
So we're getting there. It's a kind of slow process, and it's an odd building method because we're starting from the top and working our way out and then down and then around the bottom. Obviously if we were building something like for the house or the garden or framing anything else, then we would build it in a completely different fashion, and I would probably also already have some plans, so then I would just frame everything out. But here, nothing's straight, nothing lines up, and we're not really doing it to any plan, we're just kind of sitting things in place and working it out. So we've worked out the width of the fridge here, that's going to fit perfectly in there. Once we get the fridge in, we'll then put a beam across here and we'll have a drawer there. We've already attached the fresh water tank in the corner there, and we just need to work out the space for the water tank, the gas locker, and then the wastewater tank, and that will or should match up with the centre piece here for dividing the two doors that are going to be on this side. So it's all a bit of kind of working out as we go along, but we think we're getting there, don't we, honey?
Sure, we'll get there. So let me just take a very quick break here to tell you about beetroot juice from Lidl. It's much better than AG1. It's got 350,000 minerals in it and vitamins. It's just goodness in a little scoop.
Who are we kidding? We're not good enough for sponsorship yet, but you should enjoy watching a YouTube video without an advert for AG1. It seems pretty crazy that it took again nearly all day to do this, but most of the day was spent actually working things out, to be honest, because we're not working from any sort of plan. Very little of the day was actually spent cutting and screwing bits of wood together, because as you can see there's not very much here, but we had a lot to consider to make sure everything would fit in. We think we've sussed it. We've still got some more framing to do, to put in a frame for a shelf here, frame to separate the fridge and the drawer, frame to add the electric panel on there and whatnot. But once we get all of that done, we'll probably then move on to some other things, the electrics and the heating and stuff, before we then come back to putting doors and worktop and stuff on here. And then we'll have separate days where we do the plumbing and the gas and things like that. But it also took a lot of time to work out how this would look, that we don't have any visible screws. We're going to actually have this frame visible, we're not going to be covering this up. So the way we want it to look is the doors will sit just sort of over here, and we want to be able to see the frame because it matches the same colour as the cladding and the gap in between the doors here, so we want it to look similar to this. And then with the black fridge and the black doors and things and the light coloured wood round about, we think it's going to look good. So we were also checking, here's a door just to show you. We were also making sure that whilst we were connecting all of this frame together there was no visible screws. If we had then been going to clad this with ply or something, then it would have been much easier and quicker. But anyway,
if you liked the video, please hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks very much, guys. See you tomorrow.
See you in the next one.